Let me know when you join. So I am going online right now to StreamYard so that way I can schedule our RSS feed for 3:30 p.m. That would be me and Sarah. We're going to be doing free live readings. We may pull cards for tarot, but most likely not. We're just going to do channeled readings. They will be specific to the individual, so what you're going to want to do is ask a question, all right? So we're going to practice here until I get tired or until they tell me it's enough, all right? So if you have a question, go ahead and put your question in the comment, all right? Greet me, say hi, so that I know you're there, and I will happily pull a card for you. I'm just going to be patient and allow notification to go out there until people start to join. I'll probably repeat it at that time so that way you know what to do. Okay? All right. So hi, cool. So some of you guys won't be able to attend at 3:30 today. At 3:30 on Tuesdays, currently, at least for today and next Tuesday, Sarah and I will be doing readings, live readings. We've been doing them for a few years, and so we've been doing really good. Anyway, we've elevated and evolved into cold readings is what they're called, and they're channeled readings. So what happens is that you ask a question, and rather than pulling a card and telling you what the realm sees in this obscure way, right? We tell you what it is that our shared energetic consciousness perceives, okay? And usually we're able to make the shift in that dynamic in that moment, like right in that moment. So if you have a question, okay, that you'd like an answer to, all right, that you're truly ready to hear and shift toward what you're asking for, okay? If you're asking about something, you're in a noticing. You're noticing your surroundings, you're noticing your body, your mind, your emotion, your connection through that emotion intuitively to all that is, okay? And when you start to intuitively tune into your surroundings, it forces the mind, body, spirit experience because now you're practicing being in your body. Now you're here. And that's how life works. Better, I found. Okay, so while I'm scheduling for my 3:30 show, if you have a question, if you just pop it in there, I'll pull a card for you right now. So right now we're starting with hope, okay? Hope, oh wow. So hope, and then immediately what they said was hope springs eternal, all right? Okay, well, under it is fertility. Wow, a lot of spiritual lessons that we're going through right now. Oh yeah, so everybody is changing their collective conversation. So we're choosing how we wish to believe what we believe. That's what's happening. And those paradigm shifts create lifestyle changes and actions. And some of us might be withdrawing, and that's less participatory in an external phase that causes us to go into our mind, escaping more. And when it gets darker outside, we're already in the dark, so we usually have a tendency to become internal, right? So as we're internal, what happens, I have to move this camera right here so that I can see what I'm doing on there. Oh, I lost my train of thought. I lost the channel because I switched channels. Did you see that? Oh, joy. That was so joyful. You know what I'm really grateful for in that moment is to notice that like instant I noticed. I was like, oops. Oops. Oh, goodness. What a good day this is. Okay, so I'm looking up my Google Docs. I'll put my cards right here until you guys are ready. Goodness. So are we just work buddying right now? Because we could do that too. I don't mind. If you want to talk about a subject, we can do that. If you have a question, like a universal, existential, esoteric, metaphysical, occult question, I'd be happy to tell you what I made up about it. Okay? Don't you love that? Don't you love that we make up every bit of our day? Every bit. We conjure the story. We live the plot twist we put in place. I just choose to be more inventive and imaginative in my experience. I use my linguistic skills to take me into realms of pleasure in my mind. That lets me feel spacious and joyful. I could choose joy and happiness and gratitude, appreciation, because they're all very similar frequencies, right? And that's what makes up a vibe, is frequencies. So when you choose that over and over and over again, it becomes the information on the pattern. The pattern is the name or the construct of the experience. That's why it's sacred. That's why it's sacred geometry, because it loops. It repeats. The pattern is never broken. It's sacred. It's the foundation of the lived experience. Each experience has different information. It begins with the initial information of what physically transpired. Then it moves into the intuitive, emotional, connected experience through the heart space. And also it's simultaneously, right? It moves into the mindscaping of how you want to tell the story. How did that happen? What am I feeling? The logic behind the experience. No, absolutely not. I'm going to read the question out loud, okay? So for me, what I notice is that we're very intersectional because we're in oneness. We're in this consciousness of understanding. That understanding is all of our thoughts, and our thoughts create frequencies. These frequencies are our possibilities. They are our ideation. They are what we think exists and what we pretend doesn't. It is the seen and the unseen, and it is a shared realm. Okay? So no, we're never doing anything wrong. We're doing it a way, and we're getting this result. So we have a situation. The situation could be the sacred geometry of the pattern. If you are attempting to create a new foundation in a practice, then you have to practice the information the way you want the result. Okay? If you're working internally on something that is uncomfortable, a notice moment, correct. If you're working on something that's uncomfortable and you don't want to be there because it's inconvenient to your current circumstances, that's when, in that moment, you will feel as though you're either not of yourself or you're in two different places at once. And how that translates to your energetic field, which is all of you, is chaotic. Because you're trying to practice more than one vibration that's made up of many frequencies. So noticing, right? A notice moment. Recognition. Recognition is a great word because it brings in your energy to your body, to your embodiment. So when you notice, you're noticing with your mind, all right? When you recognize, you're recognizing it with your entirety. Recognition takes understanding and meaning. And those are what you feel and think. And when you do that, you embody that practice through your breath. Your breath is your physical field. Air is your physical field. Can you feel like what I'd like for you to do, because how I'm moving the energy right now? And if you would like to join me in that field of entrainment to where there's a surety, that there's an ease, that there is an expansiveness to it, just tune in and say, wow, what does she feel like? What is she thinking? How does she do that? Where does that come from? And your body will ease, because now you're not trying to push to a meaning. You're relaxing into a vibration. All right? And then you can derive your own meaning, your own feeling from it. And then you can derive or make up your own thought around it. And that's your understanding. We live through perception and opinion. That's why nobody has a total truth. We all together are a total truth. That is our profound nature. So we never do anything wrong, and we're never imperfect. We are so perfect, it's ridiculous, because we are so unique to the vibrational offering of our wholeness, of our oneness. And those fluctuations in the larger flows, which are vibration, let's say anger, shame, guilt, remorse, fear, love, generosity, kindness, ease, surrender, peace, tranquility. They're all vibrations. Those are large vibrations. There's many frequencies that make up those vibrations. Those frequencies are generated from your thoughts and your feelings and your actions. And together, it creates that vibe. So everybody's version of love. That's why that vibe, when you go into it, you think, because you've been trained and conditioned to attach to an object. No, that's what objectify comes from. See what I mean? Not an object. It's a vibe. So it's a flow state. Let's investigate it. Let's just investigate like what love could feel like without associating it to romance or family, or if you're going to associate it to beauty. Beauty is a great vehicle and a force of nature. Breathe that in. And then just sit in the energy of it. Bask in it. Let it surround you. You don't have to create a meaning or an understanding for the vibe. You just be it. You can notice. This is where recognition would be very beneficial. You could notice and recognize that there are bits and pieces of constraint or pressure in your physical field that feels or thinks it can't move the way you would like for it to. See how good you are at doctoring your fucking self? Okay, so what I want you to do is just go to that space in your body that feels like it's holding information. Ask if the information needs to be heard, and can it be heard through ease and kindness and gratitude. And that shifts the practice of what the energy is doing. And then you can give it a command. You can say, I release and bless you for all of the lessons and lovings you've given me. Thank you for the information you've been, and now you will be. Ease and harmony, grace and flow. And you'll join those larger vibrations that I love to practice, that bring me tranquility, that bring me peace, that allow me to connect to my neighbor and be in community and help them where I'm able, and allow myself to receive help when I need it, to not be afraid to ask, to allow my vibration no shame in it, to know that shame is a condition meant to diminish me and is not something I have to practice. And all I did was become the vibration of shame and tell it didn't have to be the focus. Now my throat might seem interested in our story, right? So since my throat is interested in my story, and I don't sense that that's actually me being interested in my story, and I kind of move into that energetic of it, it feels kind of like it might be push energy. All right, so maybe something trying to force me to receive messaging that I'm resistant to, right? And it also feels a little bit like exhaustion, right? I recognized it. That's what gave me ease. I recognized it and I was like, oh, fuck yeah, it's exhaustion. Okay. Now I can bring more of me back into my physical and mental and emotional capacity, right? And I'm filling myself up for my own oxygen mask. I've been out everywhere else trying to help everybody, right? So it's good. It's good. I need to continue to be of service, and filling up the vessel is how I can maintain that and sustain that. And there's a lot of sadness that I'm aware of and part of, yet it doesn't seem to be holding as great a charge for me. I have a choice as to whether or not I want to feel deeply of or around or in something. So I feel more myself. I feel more like I'm in choice. I'd like a little bit more spaciousness around me and this choice to just vibrate in peace. So I'm going to imagine or pretend that I'm drawing peace from a divine connection to all that is. Everything that is peace, beautiful peace, harmonic peace, lyrical, musical, symphonic, orchestra peace. I want to bring in all of that divine connection, and I want to saturate my experience with it. I want to be the tablature that the music of the universe plays through. I want that beauty. I want that harmony. I want that acceptance. I want that love. I want that abundance. I want that prosperity. I want that ease. I too want everything to fucking go away. Okay, but here we are. Here we fucking are. Got it? And it's okay. It's okay to be here and recognize that we are in the middle of a living room that we took a big fucking shit in. Okay? Life's still gonna happen and we're still gonna show up, and that's the beauty of you. That's the beauty of the resilience you build within you is how you continue to show up for you. Okay? You are that beauty. You are that ease, that harmony. Critical thinking needs peace. Tactical and strategic maneuver requires focus. The resistance that we feel may not be ours. It might be theirs. It might be their resistance to change. What about that? What if it's their fucking resistance you're reading, and that's why it feels so over-fucking-whelming? What if it's that? Ooh, see how you start to pull away from their field and become you more? Okay, now you're not in that vibe. Man, that released something for me, so that was really nice. Goodness, I'm starting to feel a lot. I'm starting to feel a lot of emotion and sensory. People might consider it empathic energy, right? Okay, maybe it is that. Okay? So there's still this powerlessness to it. And that's what the main, energy vibration is that I'm noticing. And if I want to recognize it, I can recognize that I feel powerless in everything that's going on. That I feel powerless. Just breathe through that. Powerless makes everything unmanageable, okay? It is the first step to recovery in any program, is that recognition. And that's what we're in. We're in a programming, behavioral science experiment. Okay? How do you want to participate? Oh, stretch. Movement is always going to be like your best friend, okay? It's going to give you bits and pieces of you that you didn't have access to or didn't want to access before. So when you move after you get an understanding, it embodies it because now you're practicing the energy that you felt and it becomes you. Now it's another perception that you can use in your told or expressed truth. Okay? We're just going to sit here because you could feel it all kind of commingling and deciding, and we're all part of it. We're all part of it. So for me, this would be what you might consider subliminal or hypnotic, okay? For me, I'll make a suggestion into our shared understanding. Maybe we could think about what it feels like to be on the other side of the liberation, right? What does that feel like? I want to be that magnet. I want to be such a strong centrifugal force of that magnet that it pulls everybody lovingly and appreciatively and kindly into that centrifugal force. I want to create that and be that. That's what I want. Okay? I will recognize where I find limitation in my circumstances or situations. I will become okay with it. I will relax and I will accept it as it is. I will check in with humanity. And I will perceive where I can support humanity best, inclusively, because that allows all of my belief system to be in existence. And that is powerful. That is powerful. Allowing yourself to truly stand at your greatest volume and know that you are in something bigger than you can ever perceive. That's humility, true humility. Do your best from where you're at. That is the best that you can do anyway. And every little bit creates a bigger truth. What bigger truth do you want to move to? I love this. All right. That was a great question. Thank you very much. I like that question. So no, you're not getting it wrong. What it is that you have too many focuses in too many directions, so you're trying to get it all, the totality of it right in one sitting. And it's like a banquet. It's like a banquet. It's like an outlay of offerings that you meander through because it's called a journey. It's a path. And you're not choosing adversity. You're choosing resilience. And so resilience is like praying for patience. We want to survive this. We want to get out of this. We want to escape this. We want to move through this. All of that language. All of that language is your ask. Doesn't that fucking suck? It's okay. It's all right. It's just recognition. You're just recognizing how you're talking to yourself. That's all you're doing. It's beneficial. It's super beneficial. And we're not always going to be like in that frame of mind that is the juice. We're going to be many times in that frame of mind that is like the toilet. Okay? And it's fine. Because you can always flush it. Okay? All right. Goodness. So, levity goes a long way. It allows you to separate from the disharmony. You move into harmony when you're in levity or humor. That's why manic practices are so effective in change. All these things that we're told are wrong. Why do you practice that? Well, because it makes people uncomfortable and that shifts the vibration. Okay, great. You don't want to make people too uncomfortable. I can understand that. You don't want to make them uncomfortable to the point of you, what is the word? Alienate them. You don't want them to feel alien to you because in our conversations, all right, we are creating communal energy. So it should always feel like where two or more are gathered. It should always feel very sacred when you're speaking with someone. It doesn't. It hardly ever does because we're reading their energy and we step right the fuck into it and start acting that way and then we wonder what the fuck is wrong. Anyway, anywho, you call it empathy. It's all right. We're allowed. We're allowed to feel for another individual. A burden shared is a burden lessened, and that's what you're doing. You are unburdening them of their highly charged emotional state. So good on you. But if you don't know you're doing that, you're going to continue to hold on to it. Then it will become your vibrational practice. When it becomes your vibrational practice, you live it. And then you wonder, how did this happen? And that's usually how it happens, is like that. It's good to align to everyone. When you choose how you wish to align to everyone, like before I started this live, I knew that I wanted to come from the spaciousness of my heart connection to all that is. I knew that I wanted to, coming into this, I knew that I wanted to be of greatest value and service to whoever joined. And my initial intention was physical. So the physical intention was I would really like for those who join to come to my YouTube channel as well. Okay? So all of our beingness comes from different avenues of reason. It comes from how we feel, it comes from what we think, and it comes from what we do. All right? When you can bring them all together into a cohesion, that is many frequencies in the vibe, right? You are that vibe. You're practicing a vibe. What frequencies are you adding to that vibe, right? And if you do all the frequencies similar, then you're one vibe and the focus is easier. You're not scattered over here or there. Okay? So choose first. Choose first, because that'll support your sanity. All right? And it does feel like we are going insane. and fuck it. It's a good ride. It's a good ride. It's a good ride. Why don't you make up the best plot twists, right, that you want to live? Why don't you make up the best case scenarios in what could happen, right? Once we start to practice this, all of us, right? Look at how many people you know. If you just say, hey, for like 3 minutes a day, if you think about what it looks like after all this shit is like said and done, right? How we would all feel, okay? Where do you want to be? Now choose. Now choose how you want to feel, okay? When you choose how you want to feel, where you want to be, that's the vibrational antenna you're using to call in that new reality. And it really is a paradigm shift. We've already asked for this change. Currently, this is what this change looks like. It is horrendous. We do not like it. We're not aligned with it. It causes us grief. It is the cause of this grief. It is the energy of grief being sent to us. And it is done at such an alarming rate that we feel bereft. We feel ripped away from our identity and who and what we thought we were. And that is what is meant to be happening right now. It is all of our truth changing in expression. And we do it through how we think and what we feel. And when we get closer to a truth that's saturated in harmony, the easier it is for us to speak. When we speak of dissension, dissension holds its own rattle. When we speak of harmony, harmony brings us into a different vibrational understanding and meaning. That means and thinks, feels and thinks that we are moving to a different note in the universe. It doesn't mean the circumstances change. It means that now critical thinking can be employed. It means now we don't have to be exhausted by the energy that they're generating. Now we can choose what energy field we want to come from, and we can master that. We can master that. That allows us more choice, bigger expression, greater expansion, needed evolution, more acceptance, more community. That's what changes the vibe. Anyway, okay, I'm going to get off my soapbox now. There's so much laughter in my head right here, right now. I don't even know what to say. Other than I can tell you it feels crazy and I love it. I hope you guys have a great day. Again, I did just jump on to talk about my YouTube 3:30 show on Tuesday. It'll be this Tuesday today with Sarah, and we do channeled readings. And then specific questions are answered. We do energetic shifts right in that moment so that people have live experience with us and how we work together. And it lasts for a half hour. I don't know how many questions we'll be able to go through, but you're more than welcome to join us over there. Just look for Body Studios on YouTube, and I look forward to seeing you. Happy almost New Year.